Are you new to selling books on Amazon? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you 10 tips for the brand new bookseller for how to get started, how to make more money, and how to build your business faster. With that being said, let's jump into the video. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Steve Rakin with the Rakin Profit YouTube channel, and in today's video I want to share with you my best 10 tips if you're thinking about getting started selling books, or maybe you've started your book business on Amazon. I want to give you some tips that I wish I knew when I first started my business over 7 years ago. Currently in my Amazon business, I'm doing a little over $17,000 a month. Hoping to cross 20K a month soon. And I sell primarily books, board games, DVDs. I sell household items, but my primary focus right now is books and DVDs. So I also taught my mom, if you guys have been following me for a while, she's 67. She's been selling books for over 7 years as well. She does around $3,000 to $5,000 a month. And thanks to, books and Amazon FBA, she was able to retire and, instead of working at Walmart or at the Dollar Tree or, working minimum wage to get by, she's able to go to thrift stores, garage sales, libraries, so on and so forth, and pick up books and sell them on Amazon. So let's get right into the video, and be sure to smash that like button and show some love down below to let me know you enjoy these types of videos. So let's get into tip number one if you're new to selling books. The first thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is selling on Amazon FBA and not as a merchant. FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. In a nutshell, this means that when you buy your inventory, you send them all in a box to the fulfillment centers that are all over the country, right? These are huge warehouses that Amazon own and operates. You send all your inventory to them, and then they're going to fulfill it, fulfilled by Amazon. So they're going to receive your inventory, they're going to store it at the warehouse, and then when it sells, they're going to pick it, pack it, ship it, and send you a check when it sells. Now, the reason why you want to sell FBA versus selling as FBM, fulfilled by merchant, it's kind of like an eBay seller storing it at your house and shipping it yourself, is because when you sell FBA, you get that Prime check, right? Drop a 1 down in the comments or let me know that you're a Prime member, because if you pay that Prime subscription, you get items shipped quickly, 2-day shipping, 1 or 2 day shipping, you get hassle-free returns. And most people that are Prime think that they're buying from Amazon, and they are buying from Amazon. Amazon's fulfilling it, but it's the third-party suppliers like you and I that are actually giving Amazon the inventory. So you want to sell FBA, you're going to sell your items quicker, they're going to sell for more money. And most customers don't want to buy from merchants because merchants are unreliable. The items are sometimes not described accurately. Shipping times are slower. And again, people want that Prime. So make sure you sign up for an FBA account. Go to Amazon Seller Central, sign up for a account. You can get a free or a pro account. Sign up, and then you can get started. If you have any more questions about that, drop a comment down below. Tip number 2, if you're new to selling books especially, you've got to get yourself a scanner. So you can actually go to rakinprofit.com/scanner, and that's a scanner that I use. It's a Natamu scanner. It's a little less than $50. And the reason you want a scanner is because it's going to allow you to filter through books much quicker. Now, yes, you can download the Amazon Seller app, which is free, and you can actually use it to take pictures, right? You hit the little camera button in the corner and you can take a picture of the barcode and it'll scan it and tell you what's profitable, how much it's selling for, how many competitors, so on and so forth. But keep in mind, 90 to 95% of the books, sometimes even more, are gonna be worthless at a thrift store, at a garage sale, at a library. Most books aren't worth it after the fees and whatnot on Amazon. So if you wanna be able to source more books, which is gonna equate to you making more money and more profit in your business, you've gotta filter through books faster. Get yourself a scanner. I can't say it enough. Number 3, get off listing on Amazon. So once you buy all your books and you go to ship them to Amazon FBA, try not to ship and list your books via the Amazon.com, Amazon Seller Central platform. It's slow, it's inefficient, and it takes literally like 3 to 5 times longer to list on it versus something like AccelerList. That is what I'm currently using right now. Also, another software is Inventory Lab. It'll allow you to list quicker, list faster. There's some bookkeeping features, and every time you ship out a box, you can see the actual profitability, and it's just so much more streamlined. So at first, make some money, build up your nest egg of profit or whatnot, and pay for a subscription. It's gonna save you a lot of time. This game is all about sourcing more, listing and processing more, and getting as many boxes or inventory to Amazon. The more you feed the beast, the more money you're going to make. Tip number 4, free book pickups. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the website Nextdoor or Facebook Marketplace. I'm sure you've heard of that. Put out ads, wanted ads saying, hey, I'll pick up your books for free. I'll help you get rid of them. And a lot of people, you might be thinking, well, who's gonna do this? A lot of people have tons of books that they don't want. They're big, they're bulky, they take up a lot of space, they're heavy, and most people think that books are trash. Put out wanted ads on these websites and say, I'll pick up your books for free, I'll come get them. And I'm telling you right now, this is one of the best ways to get literally hundreds and sometimes thousands of books for free. So if you guys don't know, I actually run a course called the Book Business Blueprint with my partner Avery. I'll put a picture of him here. He's done over $1.3 million. And in our course, one of the ways that we teach our students when they're new is to put out these wanted ads. And we've had so many students pick up hundreds, and even one of them that picked up literally thousands of books and made a ton of money. So put out those ads. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks for, a really good response, but it's really, really worth it. Number 5, don't always price the lowest. So when you scan an item, sometimes it'll say that there's 5 sellers and the lowest price might be $26, and then the second price is $32, then the third price is $40. Depending on the sales rank, which is essentially how slow or how fast an item is gonna sell, some items might sell out of the lowest seller, and then it's gonna go up to the next price, which might be from 26 to 32. So if you have a book that's really moving quickly and there's a high sales velocity, sometimes you don't wanna price the lowest because you might be undercutting your profits. So imagine there's somebody at 26 and 32 and 35, and it's maybe a 30,000 rank in books, which is fast. Once that $26 offer sells out, now the lowest price, the floor price, is gonna jump from 26 to 32, which is what? Another $6 in profit. So you wanna weigh out the competition, what are the prices at, and what is the sales rank, because you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. Now, of course, you could sell your items faster by being that lowest offer, but it's not always about getting the quickest sale. If you could boost your profits by 15 or 20% by just being a little more patient and it doesn't affect your cash flow that much, you definitely wanna do it. So this takes time, this takes experience and practice, but keep that in mind. All right, tip number 6, if you're new to selling books, is you wanna get yourself a good scanning app. So of course, you could start on a budget by downloading the Amazon Seller app, which is free. But again, like I said before, it's not as quick when you're scanning. You have to use your camera on your phone to scan the barcode. And there's just different features that it's lacking versus my favorite scanning application, which is ScoutIQ. Now, I'll put a link to an extended free trial down below in the description. And if you want to support the channel, please go through that affiliate link. I would really appreciate that. It doesn't cost you any more money. But the reason that I promote and I love ScoutIQ is because of some of the various features that it has. Number 1, it has a feature called eScore. What the eScore essentially means is it's another number outside of the rank. You have the rank, but the rank is just a snapshot in time of how it's doing like right now. eScore is a number that will tell you how many days out of the last 6 months it's had a sale. So the higher the eScore, the more days that it's had at least one sale in the last 6 months. So you might have a book that's ranked, I don't know, 400,000, but that doesn't tell you that much of a story. That book could have been ranked 2 million and now it had a couple sales in the last few weeks and now it dropped down to 400,000, but it could be somewhat of a slower seller. Whereas if I see a book that has a 400,000 rank, but a 56 eScore, I know that it's had 56 days out of the last 6 months with at least one sale. So that gives me a lot more confidence. Whereas a book could be ranked 400,000, but has a 7 eScore, which tells me, okay, this book's somewhat of a slower seller. Yes, it's at a 400,000 rank, but that means it's probably had a sale recently, because anytime you have a sale, the rank will drop and then it'll slowly creep back up over time. So I love that feature of ScoutIQ. I also love what's known as custom triggers, or just triggers in general. I would just go with the default triggers that Caleb Roth, the founder of ScoutIQ, created. He's one of the best booksellers I know. But essentially, custom triggers are rules. So every time you scan a book, it'll automatically tell you to pick or pass based on the custom rules, based on the profit, the number of sellers, the rank, the e-score, so on and so forth. So you can actually have cues in the form of sound effects go into your ear, just wear headphones, and then when you scan, it'll go da-ding, which means buy, and it'll also show you a green light, which means buy, or it'll go da-do, which is pass, and it'll show red reject. So you could scan so much quicker because you have the sound cues. You also have the e-score that gives you more confidence in, how this book has really been selling over time. And overall, it just makes you a better bookseller because you could scan through more items and make better decisions. So I'd highly recommend ScoutIQ. Check out the link below, and I really appreciate the support. Let's jump into tip number 7. Experiment with different days and times at the thrift store. This is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of new booksellers make is they go to a thrift store once or twice and they say, there's no profits, there's no money to be made. The truth is 90% of thrift stores have profitable books in them. Yes, 10% of thrift stores do scan their books and send them off online, so you wanna, avoid those once you figure it out. But 90% of thrift stores have money to be made, but you have to figure out what are the best times to go. When do your competitors go? When do the new books come out? Are there certain days that the employees aren't working and they're not bringing out books? Like at my local Savers, a lot of times on Mondays and Tuesdays, it's dead. Not always, but I found that to be the case. And then I know at my thrift stores, there's certain times that I know they're bringing out new inventory. And that's the key. You want to get there when the new inventory comes out. Because most likely if you live in a major city or where there's a good amount of population, you're going to have other competitors. And sometimes if you get a person like me or my buddy Avery or someone like my mom, I'm a prophet, coming through and sweeping through the thrift store, before you're not going to find anything or maybe very little, right? Don't pass on a thrift store because a competitor already went through it. There's chances are they maybe missed items or they just avoided books that don't have a barcode, which you can just use the Amazon seller app to scan the cover or type in the ISBN, so on and so forth. But you've got to learn the best days and times to go, which takes time and patience, and you've got to experiment, build relationships with the employees at the thrift store as well, and talk to them, right? Don't just go in for the kiss, don't just go in for the kill, but build a relationship, and then slowly over time, you could ask them to bring out books when you come. You can talk to them about little secret tips and when do they bring out inventory, when do they not? Can you get backroom access, right? This is a lot of advanced stuff we talk about in the Book Business Blueprint, which I'll link up down below as well. But there's a lot of money to be made, but you've got to have patience. Now let's talk about number 8. And I've got some notes down here. If you see me keep looking down, I want to keep on track with you guys. But send at least 1 to 2 shipments a week to grow sales. So the thing about Amazon is the more you feed the beast, right? We call Amazon the beast because, it's just a monster sales machine. The more you feed it, the more profits it spits out. So what you want to do is you want to get in that habit, that ritual, that routine of sourcing and shipping out a box once or twice a week if you really want to get to 1,000 to 2,000 a month in sales, right? So the more you ship, the more you source, and of course it's got to be quality inventory, the more money you're going to make, because on Amazon you don't have to market. There's no PPC, there's no running ads, you don't have to do sponsored ads like eBay and run sales. The more you feed the beast, and that's why you want to get ScoutIQ and you want to understand rank and you want to understand e-score and you want to understand how to price correctly, because once you do those things correctly and you send books to Amazon, boom, it's gone. It is quick. Now, of course, some books are slower sellers depending on the e-score and the rank and how you price. Most of my inventory sells within a couple of months, but I do have quite a bit of inventory, probably 20 to 30% that might take a couple of months upwards to 6 months. And then there's 10% or less that might take up to a year. They're longer tail, but there's big profits at the end, so I'm willing to wait. But you got to send in items consistently, and that's one of the ways to make more money, right? It's obvious, but I just want to put it out there. So many people send in a couple shipments and then they take 2 months off, and it's like, no, feed the beast. All right, moving forward, number 9. So let's talk about getting ungated. So when you sell on Amazon, a lot of categories are going to be gated, which means you won't be able to sell them unless you get a wholesale invoice, okay? So I'd recommend looking into DVDs, okay? DVDs, especially if you go to thrift stores, there's a lot of DVDs and a lot of competitors aren't ungated in them. So this is like one of my little secret tactics is, buying new DVDs. I source a lot of them on eBay, but also at thrift stores, Facebook Marketplace. DVDs sell really well. Now they are a little bit of a slower seller compared to books. Books probably sell twice as fast, maybe 3 times as fast. But DVDs, especially new sealed DVDs, can sell for 30, 40, 50. I've sold new DVDs that I've sourced offline for $200, $300, $400. I just sold one the other day called Alien Nation. I think it sold for 250, 275, don't quote me, but it was a lot, right? I did pay, you know, $100 and change for it, sourcing it online, but you'd be shocked at what some of these DVDs can sell for. So what you're gonna wanna do is go to a website like Alliance Entertainment or Ingram and get yourself at least 10 of a DVD, get yourself a wholesale invoice, submit that to Amazon, and you'll get ungated. You can do that with toys, you can do that with all different types of categories, but over time you want to get ungated in different products and categories because depending on your goals and depending where you live, you just might not be able to find enough books, depending on your business model, to continue to grow. So I'd recommend, secondly, to get ungated in DVDs and expand into that. So with that being said, tip number 10, the final tip for new booksellers is don't pass up on books that are restricted. So I talked about being gated in certain categories. Certain books, like really popular textbooks and Pearsons and some Wileys and just different popular textbooks. These are books that are selling really fast. Amazon restricts them, right? Don't leave them behind in the thrift store if they're making $20, $30, $40, $50 profit. Use my good friend Avery's service called restrictedinventory.com. Now, I'll put a link to that down below as well. But what essentially restrictedinventory.com does and why I use it is if I find a book that I'm restricted in, which I am restricted in popular textbook, I used to be ungated and then they restricted me. You can't get ungated through wholesale invoices. That's the thing. So it kind of stinks. I send all my books that are restricted to Avery at restrictedinventory.com, and he has a whole dashboard. There's an app now, so you can just do it from your phone. And when it sells, he'll send you 50% of the profit. So it's a really good service because everything's tracked. There's an app. You can see everything sent in. Send it to him. He sends you a label, which you have to pay for, but it's really cheap with books. And yeah, it's just an extra income stream. And a lot of people, they pass these up at the thrift store. I'll find books that are selling for $100 to $200 profit, these books, and they're just sitting there. And I saw a competitor leave and I'm like, why? It's because they don't want to sell it on eBay or they don't know about restricted inventory. So you don't find them all the time, but when you do come across them, that's money to be made. So send them to restrictedinventory.com and it's just a little extra income for you to support you in your business. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions about selling books, I would love to help you out. I'll put a bunch of resources down below. We also have a free webinar, which is called Your First 5 Steps to $5,000 a Month Selling Books on Amazon. So I'd highly recommend going through that. If you want to just fast forward your learning, be sure to join the Book Business Blueprint. If you want to get around a like-minded community of over 2,000 members, step-by-step videos, monthly coaching with Avery and I, check that out. But I'll also put some more free resources down below. With that being said, much love and go make that money. Bye.